this time we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Nightcrawler from Series 9, the Galactus wave. Taking a look at the back of the figure, you can see his powers and abilities and the write-up here, as well as other figures in the wave and the variants. Nightcrawler, or Kurt Wagner, who first appeared in Giant Size X-Men #1 in 1975. And this is one of my favorite Marvel Legends as a figure. Some of you may have seen my review of the X-Men box set, which was also by Toy Biz, and that had a pretty neat Nightcrawler figure included in that set. But this Nightcrawler just blew that previous figure away. Everything just improved so much. Now, he's not exactly perfect. There are a little bit of nits to pick here with the figure, mostly in the head. I think his chin juts out just a little bit too much. That's my only problem with the actual sculpt of the figure. The only other problem I have is in the paint job. You know, I would have liked a much darker paint job in the hair, and a lot of the red bits on his gloves and boots here, they're just not painted really well. See, they overlap where the white is supposed to be. Sometimes you don't get a fully realized circle. You know, it's as good as it is. I think it could be better. One other thing is that they liked putting a lot of this light blue highlights on the white portions of figures, just to give it, I don't know, to make it stand out a little bit better. It's okay, but I would have preferred just a straight white. You can tell if this is picking it up right here on the camera, but there is some very light blue shading on the feet portions and his hands. Again, very, very minor details. In articulation, this guy is pretty damn articulate, even for a Marvel Legends at the time. Starting with the head, left and right, up and down. His arms don't go fully all the way up because of the shoulder pieces here, but they are made of quite a flexible plastic, so there is some leeway, but you will have to pull the arm out here, like it goes out there. He does have a bicep swivel, double elbow joints, the forearm twist here. It does kind of break up the sculpt, but not too much, so I do like that. His wrists go forward and back. His two fingers here are separately jointed. He's got a really unique torso. He's got an upper torso joint that goes left and right. He's got an ab crunch and a waist joint. So he has 3 joints in his torso. I have not found another figure that has had this. He's got great joints at the hip. They do stick out a little bit, but I'm willing to take that for the type of articulation. You know, they're very easy to go forward and back and out to the side, and they swivel at the upper thigh. He's got double knee joints. He rotates at the boot here in the calf. His feet are very articulated as well. They go all the way up there and all the way down there, and they have great ankle pivot. I mean, look at that. Almost almost 90 degrees. And take a look at the foot here. He's got the normal toe articulation here, but it's got an extra joint for his each of his digits here. And I forgot, he's got the digit at the back there, so you can have him as if he's grasping onto things. I think the only way they could have improved upon him is giving him a little bit more accessories. He does not have any, save for the piece of Galactus that he comes with. I think it would have been cool to either have some sort of maybe like a teleportation bamfing effect stand, or perhaps a sword, because he is known for his swordsmanship. Oh, I forgot to mention his prehensile tail, which is just a bendy wire tail. I don't like to pose this a lot because bendy portions of plastic tend to wear out over time the more you use it. And but the only way they could have made this better is if they could make this swivel here at its base. It's kind of static, but you can work around it. He's a great figure for posing, and you can get him in all sorts of neat positions. So yeah, like I said, his first appearance was in Giant Size X-Men #1 in 1975. He was designed by Dave Cockrum as part of a team that would have appeared in DC's Legion of Superheroes. He was rejected by the DC editorial as a character, I guess because of his looks for some reason or other. When Cockrum then went to Marvel and they were looking for new X-Men, I guess he showed Len Wein some of his designs that he had worked on. But quite a few of them became X-Men, among them Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler has, over the years, had a lot of changes made to his backstory or history. Originally, he was just thought to have been found by his adoptive mother by the side of the road, with his parents being in an accident and the father having died already, and the pregnant mother about to die, but giving birth just before succumbing to, I guess, whatever wounds the accident had caused. The person that found her was a gypsy by the name of Margali Zardos. And she took Kurt to be raised as her own. And of course, Kurt looked like a demon from birth, and being a gypsy and actually a real magic practicing gypsy, she was a sorceress, and she used a traveling circus as cover for her, I guess, her magic, and pass it off as tricks, and used her magic to tell the future for people. So Kurt grew up with her and her two biological children, whose names were Stefan and Jermaine. Up through adolescence, he used his natural acrobatic ability to perform. And after a while, a wealthy American decided to buy the traveling circus in Europe, and he wanted to move Kurt from a acrobatic show to part of a freak show. Of course, he didn't like this, so he ran off. I guess broke his contract with the circus, and he was seeking out his stepbrother, foster brother, Stefan, and unbeknownst to him, Stefan had become a serial killer of children. Finally caught up with Stefan in the town of Winseldorf, Germany. He had found out what Stefan had become, and there was a struggle. Kurt, unfortunately, broke his brother's neck, killing him. This was witnessed by several townspeople, and thus Kurt, because of his demonic appearance, was blamed for both the murders of the children as well as his brothers, who the townspeople thought were trying to stop him. A mob is quickly formed, and they go after him, and that's where Professor X comes in and saves him from the mob, and he goes off to join the X-Men. Later, he finds Jermaine living in the U.S. as Amanda Sefton, and they become romantically involved. For a long time, he's a big part of the X-Men. He's injured by the Nimrod Sentinel, loses his teleporting ability for a while. It does come back, however, he pushes himself too hard, too fast during the Mutant Massacre storyline. His teleportation ability short circuits, and he is injured by the Marauder Riptide. And then he's sent to Muir Island to recover, along with Shadowcat. Meanwhile, the X-Men are involved in the fight with the adversary in Dallas and appeared to die. Kurt and Kitty fall in with Captain Britain and form Excalibur, where he eventually takes the role of leader several times. It's there that he becomes involved with his Shi'ar teammate Cerise. Now, after Excalibur disbands, he rejoins the X-Men, finds out that his father, in something that I absolutely hate, his father was actually an extra-dimensional demon called Azazel, and you might have seen X-Men First Class, and that's where Azazel comes from. You find out that his mother is Mystique. Mystique tried to kill him by throwing him down a well, or something like that, and Azazel saved him and brought him to Margali Azardos to raise. Me personally, I like the older, more mysterious, he's just a mutant that looks demonic instead of he is part of a demonic race. In recent times, he was part of the team that pursued Vulcan, the Lost Summer's brother, into space to prevent his revenge against the Shi'ar. During the Messiah complex, he was shot and wounded by Scalp Hunter, and he recovered from that, although during the Second Coming storyline, he was killed by Bastion, who was trying to kill Hope. Kurt was in mid-teleport, and Bastion figured out where he was going to be teleporting to, and when Kurt rematerialized. He rematerialized with Bastion's arm through his torso, and so with his last effort, he teleported Hope to Utopia, which was probably the longest teleport that he had ever tried. Once back at Utopia, he died of his wound. A pretty good way to go out, but I did not like seeing him die. Comics being comics, there's always a chance that he will return. I guess that'll be it for Nightcrawler. Stay tuned for some more Marvel Legends reviews, and until my next video, I'll see you.